question is, are you ready?
What do you guys want to talk about?
Let me talk to you.
Yeah.
Throwdown Nation, we are live. It is a Thursday night. We are rolling on Instagram, on YouTube, on Twitter, on Facebook, and on Twitch. And tonight we are throwing down with a guy who trains at House of Champions in Orlando, Florida, and is very active on the indie scene in Florida and beyond, and is one of the driving forces behind the kids program at HOC. Ladies and gentlemen, I give you GMJ. How you doing tonight, sir?
I'm good as always. I'm breathing, I'm living. I can't complain.
Absolutely. Any day you can start and finish above ground, it's a good day.
Yes, sir. How about you? How you doing today?
Man, it's been a good day. It's been a productive day. So
Same. When I just left class not too long ago. So my days are always pretty much the same. Wake up, and most of the time I head straight to the Hawk, honestly, to get some work done, to plan for things for the kids. Like tomorrow I have a trunk or treat at one of the kids' schools tomorrow, so I did that today. Planned that out, went to go get candy and just get that stuff situated. But yeah, most of the time I wake up and I go straight to the gym, honestly.
that's awesome. And for those of you that are watching this live, if you have questions or comments, just throw them in the chat and we'll either handle them as we go or do a little Q&A at the end. And looking over at the Instagram chat, we've already got a few people showing up. We've got El Payaso Enigmatico, who's a previous guest on the Throwdown, and we've got Lola's Big Adventure. So we'll go ahead and get started with the first and the most obvious question, and that is, how long have you been wrestling?
Oh, I've been wrestling for, if not already 6 years. I started in 2019, I believe it was. I started at 2019 because I was 18 turning 19. So yeah, 6 years.
Nice. So have you trained exclusively at House of Champions, or were you actually trained anywhere else?
So I started at Flatbacks with Sean Spears and Tyler Breeze.
Okay.
And then I went to Devon Dudley Academy. I was there for about a year and a half. And then I started at the House of Champions, and I've been there for going on 3 years, pretty much since we opened up. Like, I'm one of our OG founding members, so I've been there since day one.
Nice. Well, it sounds like you've really had the opportunity to train, under some incredible minds. I mean, to train with Devon Dudley, and then to be able to train with Sean Spears and Tyler Breeze. in addition to all the great trainers at House of Champions, you've really gotten to sit under some great learning trees.
I've learned like differently from each coach, of course. Um, Especially when it comes to like Devon's. When I went to Devon's, it was a lot of I feel like it was a lot of like storytelling, and how, we worked on a lot of like how WWE, moved and the stories they're trying to tell, and like, footwork, and this needs to look like this or that needs to look like that. Um, you know, Talking, in the motion, on the fly, um, just everything with, most of the stuff that I have today is because like, from Devon Dudley, and then I just added throughout my time at the HOC, just like little things that make it even more.
Gotcha. Out of curiosity, when you were training at Devon's Academy, did you ever have any chance to train with Bubba?
I did not train with Bubba. Bubba wasn't a part of the school to my knowledge.
Okay,
Um during that time. I think that was like way later. I've
gotcha.
heard like they used to have a school in Kissimmee. Um but I've never trained with Bubba, no.
Gotcha. So I was noticing over in the Instagram chat, a fairly new trainee at House of Champions, Brianna Franklin, is in the chat. She's also been a former guest on the Throwdown, and she says hi to you and that you deserve the Hawk Championship.
uh well, first off, hey, and that's of course what I'm working towards.
Yeah,
That's I've been working for that for the entire year so far. And we'll see. You know,
yeah,
I don't like I don't ever know anything. Like
right.
and this is not me lying. Seriously, like I really do not pay attention to anything. I don't know when certain stuff is happening until like I gotta go. So
Yep.
hopefully, we'll see. I'm fighting for it though.
Gotcha. So, in terms of the early portions of your training, what was the most challenging aspect of professional wrestling for you to kind of wrap your mind and body around?
Everything.
Everything?
Everything. So, and I say everything because when I first started, it was at flatbacks, of course. And it was a challenge to adapt right away, I think, because I used to box, I did sports, but like this is a crazy sport. So like taking a bump, for example, like I remember when we were taking learning how to do bumps. And for me it was my first time. And Sean like was going over how to actually do a bump, and I was like just looking and I'm like, what did he just do? Like I know what he
Hmm.
did, but like I don't know how you just did that. And I remember saying like, hey, can you do that again? Can you like show us again? And he literally just starts bumping like 10 in a row like this in like 30 seconds. And then I remember he goes, yeah, like it's just like that. You just like tuck your chin and you just go back. And I'm like, okay. And then he goes, oh yeah, by the way, you're first. And I was like, what? So I ended up, trying to mimic what I just seen, and the worst bump I have ever taken. It was so bad. I hit my head. Everything sucked. I had a headache. And I just remember him go, I knew he was going to do that. And I was so upset. I was so upset. I remember calling my mom that night and I was like, he's a dick. Like, but like in a good way. Like I
He's
know
a
he
good
meant,
dick.
I know he meant well, but like that sucked. I'm like, that sucked. I'm like, I didn't want to go first. But yeah, like everything was like very nerve-wracking to start. Like, especially like bumps. Bumps were very, very, very nerve-wracking because I just could not tuck my chin. Right. I couldn't keep it there. Right. I kept hitting my head on everything. And then when it was time to do things like a sunset flip, man, I have a story for that. Like I wouldn't go for a sunset flip. I was like so nervous. I was like scared. Like, and it really took still back in flatbacks, Billy Gunn um was around because his son Colton was training with us, and he chewed me out because I wasn't like I would like go and hit the ropes for a sunset flip and like I would just stop. And I kept on it, and I just remember him. He got up and he was like, George, what the are you doing? He's like, you're so athletic. Just jump over him and grab his waist. Just do it. And I don't know what happened. I don't know what clicked. And I was just like, well, I just got chewed out and I did it. He goes, like I said, just do it. Don't think
There
about
you
it.
go.
And
Yeah.
I was like, well, I was like, all right, yeah, I can do it. Like, and that
Yes.
actually sticks with me.
In life, sometimes it is so easy to overthink things and get in your own head. And yeah, so
Especially honestly, like especially with wrestling. Like I think the most like, in my life that I've like overthink something was something to do with wrestling. Whether it was a promo, whether it was pitching a story or something, like wrestling has always been like, okay, I'm overthinking this. Like for the longest time, I was like I would cut promos on the fly with just bullet points
mhm.
because I couldn't sit down and write it down because like I would keep reading that and I would go, no, I don't think that. No,
Yeah.
yeah, no, yes. And I'm like, no. And then I got like five different lines just for this one part. And then I would go up there and I'm like, no, none of them make sense. So I like change literally pretty much the entire promo. And
Yep.
then, I'll get feedback on the promo and I'm like, well, I should have just did what I wrote down, right? So yeah, I've overthink like so much to the point where like now, like that's also why I like to kind of not really know what's happening as well,
Hmm.
just because like if I don't know, like I don't have time to get my brain going. Because once my
Gotcha.
brain going, I'm just like, okay, how do I make like how is this like this what happened months ago? How can we do this here? Right. And then they're like, I don't think anyone's going to even remember that. And I'm like, wait, what? I'm like, we can put it over on commentary. We can do this. We can do that. And now I'm just like trying to add more and more and more. Or overthinking it. I'm like, whoa, we gotta do it. So like that's why I'm more of like, all right, it's time for me to go out. Before then, I'm like, before that day, I'm like, I don't want to know anything. That day I walk in, what we doing? What we doing?
Gotcha. So, I'm I'm interested in the fact that prior to professional wrestling, you had some training in boxing. when it came time to train for professional wrestling, was it difficult to adapt to pulling your punches?
For me personally,
Mm-hmm.
no. Because at the time I started, it was maybe like 4 years since the last time I boxed.
Gotcha. Okay.
So for me, it wasn't like as hard to pull them. Honestly, like I needed to give more, if anything. Um,
Gotcha.
so yeah, like it was like always like practice your strikes, practice like between like everywhere, no matter what place that I've trained at is has always been like strikes, strikes, strikes. I think, every coach sees the same thing, with just wrestlers in general, I guess, where it's like, you see that? That's what happens when someone don't work on their strikes. And then it's like, yeah, like I remember like everyone always told me like, use the ring post, right? If you hurt your hand, if you hit the ring post, you're punching wrong. Like literally, if your hand hurts, then you're not doing it right. So yeah, like I like 4 years after boxing, I stopped, and honestly, that's why I started wrestling because I got the itch to box again. But like, I didn't want to keep getting hit in my face like
Yeah.
consistently. And I was like, all right, I need to do something. Like then I started on like I would like go to some classes in DC, some wrestling, grappling classes. Just I did like maybe one or two of them, and then like jiu-jitsu, and then I just would do like little classes, nothing that I can like put on a resume by any means, but like I was just like, okay, I need to get back into some type of fighting sport. And then, of course, wrestling was always in the back of the head. So I was like, I'm gonna wrestle.
Gotcha. Gotcha. So, I'm presuming that you've been at least a fan of this stuff the majority of your life. Is that pretty accurate?
Um, I I would say, oh yes, of course. I'm 20. I'm going on 25 next month, and my earliest memory is 2012. So yeah, about half of my life.
So, what would be your earliest wrestling related memory?
Uh, and only reason I know this like the year is because I just seen it on my uncle's Facebook page. A picture of me at my first Raw.
Oh,
Um,
cool.
yeah, and I think honestly, I think that's the only picture that we have. Like I don't think there's no other photos out there. Um, but my earliest memory is the Raw after WrestleMania. I believe it was the Raw after WrestleMania. Brock Lesnar returned and beat John Cena up in 2012.
Oh
And
yeah.
I remember hating Brock and crying. And I'm like, who is this guy? I've never seen him before. Like, I don't like him. I didn't like Brock for years until I literally, I would say until I started in 2021 when I started at Devon's, where I started to understand like storytelling and the business and things like that. Oh, I hated Brock. Like
Oh yeah.
fan me was like, we don't like this guy. Like I'm like, he traumatized me. He traumatized me.
Oh yeah. I mean, I remember seeing Brock's debut. I guess it would have been, gosh, around 2004, maybe. Um, and he basically just comes in the ring and just absolutely annihilates Spike Dudley. I
Well,
mean, poor Spike. Well, I mean, Spike was basically a human crash test dummy anyway. But but I mean, poor Spike.
Yeah, honestly, like I'm like I always anytime I watch Brock, I'm like, oh man, that's gonna be me one day.
Yeah.
I'm like now is like more of like a like I would love, to meet him, right? And to like actually work with him. When I first started, I was like, keep this guy away from me. He
Yeah.
hurt my childhood.
Yeah.
He had me leaving Raw crying. I'm like,
Yeah.
no.
So Gary John Sr. is in the Instagram chat, and he says that he is actually wearing your shirt right now.
Really? Yo, take a
Yeah.
picture and take a picture of it and send it to my Instagram.
Awesome. Awesome.
I
And
appreciate that.
actually, one of my son's lacrosse teammates, Gavin Wood, is in the chat.
Nice.
So, away from wrestling, what are some of your other hobbies and interests?
Man, what I do, so I love gaming.
Okay.
I love the game. But I haven't been gaming a lot lately because I want to actually like fully focus on just like everything else. Um, but gaming, I'm really into real estate as well. So I'm always like learning something new when it comes to real estate. Honestly, just in general, right? I every now and then I am literally finding something new. Um, Whether like I remember I was doing real estate for a while, and then I found out what drop shipping was, and then I got into drop shipping for a while, and I was just doing so much research on that. Um, so I would really say money. Money is is my hobby. Besides gaming, I love the game. I would game literally if I could. I would stay up 24 hours a day and just game. But outside of gaming, it is like finding new ways to make money. Um, because for me personally, like I said, I want wrestling to be always fun for me. Like I don't want to ever have to like if I get when I get a WWE contract or a AEW contract or a TNA contract, right? I don't ever want to have to worry about the money side of it, right? I really want to do this because I'm having fun with what I'm doing, right? So I'm always trying
Mm-hmm.
to figure out how I can be financially okay or mainly financially free, where I can travel and do however many shows I want, anywhere I want, without worrying about paying the bills, right?
Yep.
I want to be able to work for any company and not worry about like how like, oh, this person is making more than me or that person is making more than me, right? Like I understand like, of course, because like working since 14, like, get paid what you're worth as well. But like I don't want to have to worry about money when I'm wrestling. Like I really want to just wrestle.
Yep. Yep. So, again, another outside of wrestling question. Outside of wrestling, what person inspires you the most and why?
Outside of wrestling. I'm gonna regret saying this. I already know I am. Someone that inspires me the most is, I mean, he is a wrestler and he's also at the Hawk as well. But it's Kakoa. Gotta he's gonna replay this over and over again. I regret saying that. Um but just because like he just keeps going, right? Doing this for 19 years. Never had an opportunity. He stills wrestle to this day, working on getting an opportunity, you know, doing what he doing at the Hawk, with coaching, and me just starting to coach their our kids program. Um, I'm getting a lot of knowledge from him as well, like inside and outside the ring. Like I feel like
Hmm.
we're at like he's like my older brother. Like I bully him all day. Like seriously, that is not a joke. But I really would have to say him because he helped me through like a rough time as well for me. Um and I just look up to him.
Awesome. So, we had talked a bit before we went on the air, and you were mentioning that you grew up in DC. So I guess DC is kind of your hometown, so to speak. But you're now in Orlando, Florida. So, what was your favorite thing about DC, and what is your favorite thing about Orlando?
Uh so DC, I would say nighttime, fall, a little drizzle, and being at around like the Capitol, the monuments, right? Like that site, I miss getting off of work and walking with the boys to just be at the Capitol and like just sit in the grass and we're just like just chilling and talking. Like that 100% for me is the one thing that I like love about DC, the scenery and things like that. When it comes to Orlando, um, honestly, I've never even thought about this question, because I moved out here for wrestling. Like
Hmm.
I didn't just say, oh, I want to live in Florida. I've never you know been outside of DC, the DMV, so DC, Maryland, Virginia. I've never been outside of um, DC, Maryland, Virginia, to be like, oh, this is where like I want to live. Um, but I guess like now for me, the best part would just be the friends that I have here. Honestly, like
Hmm.
they have also helped me through so much, just as much. Um, Actually, I was talking to one of my friends last night, and he was like, "I remember when you were talking to me, and you were like, yo, should should." I told him I was like, I asked him I was like, "Yo, should I start back wrestling again?" And he was like, "Yeah, like, what do you got to lose? Like, you've been talking about this since you moved out, fully moved back out here." And I was like, yeah, and I just went. Like to me, my friends are like a big part of like also who you see today, and they
Hmm.
are my family. So like if majority of them wasn't here, like I probably wouldn't be here, honestly.
Got you. So, they say that the best personas in wrestling are usually pretty much yourself turned up to 11. So tell us about in ring GMJ and compare and contrast him with Everyday George.
Oh, that is literally everyday George. Like everything everyone see is literally everyday me.
So what
Like
you see is what you get.
seriously. And I honestly like if people go back and look at the shows before this year, so before January, like you would see like a big difference between 2024 and 2025, right? Because like I was trying to be something that like I'm not, and I like didn't have like a character, and I didn't understand like the character and the gimmick. And then um someone was like, not someone, sorry, Cocoa was like, it's literally you just turned up to 100, right? And then Renee would say that, Nick would say that, which are the owners of the Hawk. And I'm like, I just don't understand. Like, you guys are like, everyone's just like saying it's me turned up to 100. And I'm like, I'm not understanding that logic. Like, I just wasn't. And then January, I got into a storyline with BBP, with Patty,
Oh
and
yeah.
and I remember it was after Legacy of Champions last year, and it was a promo. And mind you, I was still in my phase of like, I'm not I don't think, excuse me, I'm good at promos. Um, I'm just going on the fly. Like, it's a lot of tweaking to do. Like, I can't write them out. Like, I'm all over the place. Like, that was literally like, I was always strong in the ring, but the words wouldn't match. And then I remember we had a promo seg, and that's the first time I was comfortable with cutting a promo, because like, it wasn't like no one else. It was me, right? Like, everything I said, like, it was true. Like, I try my hardest not to lie. So anyone that knows me knows I'm very blunt, I'm very honest. Like, I will not lie to you. So I was like, okay, and I, went out there, and I'm just talking, right? Like, and I got to the back, and I'm like, I remember um Armando, he's one of the members of the Hawk. He was like, "Were you nervous?" And I was like, "No." He's like, "You sounded like it until like halfway through." And I was like thinking, I'm like, well, maybe I was, but then like, because I was being me, like, it just felt natural.
Mm-hmm.
So like, that's when I'm like, oh wait, this is what everyone's kind of talking about. So now I'm starting to see it more and more. Now I'm watching it now. And now my promos are different now as well, because I'm just telling the truth. I'm just telling it how it is, right? And now the way I'm moving is like with the confidence that I have any other time when I'm outside the ring. And now I'm
Right.
like, oh, okay. And then I can't remember what month, but I remember someone, Renee actually was like, that's what we've been looking for. Like, that's who we need in the ring. And I'm like, oh. And I remember like, I watch all my matches back at least like 100 times, because I always find something that I don't like or like. But I remember watching, like, I'm like, what are we looking at? And then Championship Chaos actually. And I remember our production guy, Chris Visa, was like, so good. That was great. Like, we need that all the time. Right. And I'm just like, man, now I know, like, okay, like, when you guys meant like just be you, you meant just be you.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like, you meant it. And honestly, I don't feel like it's me turned up. I think this is just me all the time.
Got you. Got you. So, the other night when I had Destin on, I asked him, about his first match, and he was talking about, what ended up being this random triple threat with you and Javon. So I'm going to ask you the same question. Tell us about your very first match. What was it like? How did it go? What were your thoughts? Tell us about the very first one.
So I've been thinking about this a lot. Like, I really don't remember my first match. I remember my first match outside of a school. and
Okay.
that was at a taco festival. I did a taco festival with someone I used to train with at Devon's, and all my friends came out and everything. And it wasn't like anything too crazy. Um, but I remember like I'm still this guy that don't know who he is at this point. Like I'm just like I got all black tights, I got my training shoes on, and I'm just like, hey, like they let me work this show. Like this is great, right? Where I'm at a high because I'm doing this. I'm a professional wrestler. Um Honestly, hold up. I think my first match inside of a school, a practice match, I believe it was a tag team match at Devon's. And I don't know, I can't remember all the people that was in it, but I remember Kiki, what's his last name? Roberts. Kiki was I was his one of his partners. It was a six-man tag. And like I didn't know like anything. And it was just like, hey, we're just throwing you in. And
Mm-hmm.
you know, to be with them guys where I was at was like oh, like because I'm literally like watching them at ringside. Like I'm looking at their footwork. I'm looking at how they do this move and that move, and now I'm like in there. And like I didn't do much, but I was like I was still a part of it. So I think that was
Mm-hmm.
my first like actual match,
Mm-hmm.
maybe. And it could have been at flatbacks too, which I'm pretty sure it was at flatbacks, honestly.
Mm-hmm.
But I have so many like different memories. Like I feel like Cam Stewart could have been that first match, honestly. Like I would have to like go back scrolling, but I feel like it was Cam Stewart um who was the first match, but like my earliest one that I could like remember is like the Taco Festival because that was the one that was like, all right, we're not practicing anymore, we're live. So that's the one I remember.
Gotcha. So we've heard about the first matches. Now, if you can narrow it down, tell us about your favorite match that you've been a part of.
Oh, easy. This one's easy. It was a match between me and Kakoa. It was a gender reveal match um, for Nick and Renee's son. Um, and when I tell you that is literally my favorite match that I have ever done, like that is my favorite match. Like I am at work, like I also work in a restaurant, so sometimes I'm at work and I just like watch that match when I'm supposed to be working. That is by
Mm-hmm.
far my favorite match that I've done.
Gotcha. Gotcha. So I'm presuming, over the 6 years that you've been doing this, that you've worked both sides of it. Do you have a preference between working heel or babyface?
Um, I don't. To me, it's always um, what do you want? What do you need me to do?
Gotcha.
Do you need me to be babyface or do you need me to be heel? Because I could do either or, right?
Mm-hmm.
And that was one of the things that I had to get used to as well, like that transition between babyface and heel, because when I was at Devon's, I was only mainly working on like babyface stuff. When I got to the Hawk, I was only like working on pretty much like heel stuff. And like I would work on baby stuff, but like I was the heel of the Hawk.
Mm-hmm.
Like before we was even doing shows, like people like I was just that person because that's who I am really. Like I'm always messing with someone. Like I'm always picking on someone. So like I was just like the natural heel. Um So even like during the whole story with me and Patty, like I remember like, yo, you gonna have to be baby because one, these kids, all they do is cheer for you.
Yeah.
Honestly, everyone just cheers for you. But like it's two sides to it. It's because like I wasn't like being a full heel, I would say. Like I was a heel, but like everyone didn't dislike me because I was just telling the truth. Like
Yeah.
I was just saying what everyone else thought. So like once people and you start seeing it in the beginning with me and Patty, like it was like boo, yay, right?
Yeah.
Because it's like, wait, is he actually like wrong to feel this way? Right?
Right.
I was the good guy in my story, right? And then
Yeah.
everyone started seeing my point of view and was like, yeah, huh.
Yeah.
Which is also why they were like go baby face. And then like I adapted to that. I remember when my first baby face back, I hated it. I didn't like it at all. And then I just like was like, all right, well, I'm just gonna enjoy this. Like I started watching a lot more wrestling at that time. Um, just like whatever was on. Um, to kind of like see what I was doing wrong because I felt like it was always something missing when I was a baby face. And a lot of it was just like because I'm like trying to mimic the aura. Like right when Roman Reigns come out, he has an aura with him. When Randy Orton comes out,
Mm-hmm.
he has an aura, right? And for me, like I would come out and I was like, I'm just more of like, yo, the smirk you see, I'm just like, oh, all right. So I'm just giving like more heel vibes, right? And I'm like, man, something just like isn't like happening, right? And I remember teaching a class one day and we were going over interests and things like that. And I told them, I was like, hey, like you guys don't like have to run around the entire ring and high five everybody. Right? That was just
Right.
something basic, right? Like everyone, goes and run around the whole ring and high five everybody. I'm like, how can you be different with that? And I remember like I told them that, and then I went, my music hit, and that place lost their mind, and I was like,
Mm-hmm.
oh, and I remember I'm like, oh, we hot. I remember saying it too. I was like, oh, we hot in here. And then I literally was like, bam, 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 bam. And then they all looked at me and were like, you literally said we don't have to high five everybody. I'm like, well, technically I didn't high five everybody. I high five the people. I'm like, I high five the people that was in the entranceway or near the entranceway. Boom, boom, boom. Uh, but then like I did that, and then the next show I remember coming out, and I wasn't as hyped as I was, and
Mm-hmm.
I felt like the people wasn't high. So then I was like, I tested that experiment because I was like, okay, I need to see this for myself, right? I'm like, I'm gonna do what I would normally do, come out with the smirk. Uh-huh. I'm looking everywhere. I'm looking at the guy in the ring, and I'm like, doing my normal stuff. And then I didn't feel like it was there. Everyone was like, nah, they were still there. But I'm like, I didn't feel that way. So now when you see me come out, I come out and I'm like, I'm doing all the extra stuff. I'm like, I understand that like all the aura and things like that comes with time, right? It
Mm-hmm.
like Roman didn't get that right away, right?
No, no.
So yeah, that's kind of where everything is now.
Well, the guys that can seamlessly move back and forth from heel to babyface and really not change anything about their character except some very subtle things to make the audience buy into I'm a heel now or I'm a face now. Like for instance, you were mentioning Roman
Yeah.
hasn't changed a thing about his character. He's still coming out and saying, "Acknowledge me," and
Mhm.
and being the same guy. But the audience is accepting him currently as a babyface, even though he's the same Roman.
Mhm.
But it's just subtle things to get the audience to do what you want them to do in response to the same character.
Yeah.
That's magic. I mean,
And honestly, like that's what, I honestly ended up doing. Like I just, you know, I still tell the truth. Like everything I say is still me 100%, right? Everything I do, it's me. Like when I get in the ring, like as a heel, I'm like ready to go, right? As a baby, I'm ready to go. Like I'm not gonna fully circle up with you, right? Like I'm in the middle, hand up, like let's go, right? Especially
yep.
if it makes sense. Like what I'm doing with Matthew Ennis right now. We hate Matthew, by the way. Seriously. But no, what I'm doing with Matthew right now, for example, he attacked me, right? Or I'm sorry, he has won what 3 times with the chain, right?
hmm
Why am I gonna get in the ring and want to play games with you? No. Like
Yeah.
I'm coming in to fight. I'm trying to fight, bro. What's up with you?
Yeah.
Like you don't just hit someone with a chain or any object and think you're gonna get away with it. So like I'm not
Yeah.
gonna just be like circling up talking to you. Nah, let's go. Let's fight.
No.
Soon as you make your move, boom, we're going, right? So and that's just who I am, right? Like I don't change anything, right? If I'm back then, me and Patty, we did the same thing. I was a heel, Patty was the face, right? I attacked Patty. I knew I attacked Patty, so I knew I needed to be ready for Patty, right? So when we
Yep.
started, we were like boom, boom, boom. Even in the triple threat match that Matthew Ennis got inserted into, you see,
He's good at that.
so good at it, so good at it. But you see that like my attention wasn't on Matthew. Like I'm like, what's up with you, Patrick? Like I want you. Me and you, we're cool right now. We're cool. I ain't cool with you, right? And now
Yep.
look at it. Now I'm not cool with him. We're not cool.
Yep.
So
Yep. The script got flipped.
it's that.
Yep.
I
Yep.
mean, I still don't like Patty either. Like
Yeah.
he helped Matthew Ennis, win again. He keeps interfering. Like, bro, as you see, I'm not paying you any mind. I'm trying to let you be. You
Yeah.
got to think about life apparently. But Patrick loves me, but it's okay.
So, do you have an all-time favorite match as a fan? A match that just speaks to you, and it's like comfort food. You find yourself going back to it, and it never really gets old. Do you have such a match?
um, I don't like think so, honestly. Um,
Okay.
and like nothing that can come off the top of the dome right away, right? I look at wrestling like I'll just look at a match, right? And I do watch wrestling as a fan, but like I also watch wrestling as someone that's in the business as well,
Right.
right? And of course, like it's some like great matches out there. And I was actually we were just talking about one of these great matches was Sasha Banks versus Bailey at Takeover, right?
hmm
Like to me that was a great one, right? Um Anything with Jeff Hardy in it. I started wrestling because of the Hardys, So like I could say like anything like I would say impact zone time. Um like Willow, like what he did with Willow.
Oh
Um
yeah.
right? Like that night when Kurt Angle asks for, Jeff Hardy and not Willow. Like we don't want the alter ego. Like we want Jeff. Like, so I could say so many matches, but I always look at wrestling all the same. Like I'm like, this is a great match. Like to me, it's either a great match or I wasn't really like it wasn't my style.
Mm-hmm.
Right. Um, but yeah, anything with, Jeff in it. Also, AJ Styles as well, when he was
Oh
doing
yeah.
the when he was main event Mafia, Aces of Eights,
Mm-hmm.
like the Lone Wolf, and then turn into the Phenomenal. Like that was like peak for me. That was like when I really was like into wrestling. Like so like matches like that. Survivor Series, Team Tino versus Authority, like that match. Um Roman versus Brock at Mania with Seth
Mm-hmm.
Cashin. I was very upset at Roman. As a fan, I was like so upset with Roman. So like these like I always just remember like these details because I'm like, okay, as a fan, I'm like
Yeah.
and then I also in the back of the head as someone that's in the business, I'm like, yeah, okay, I can understand. But I'm like always like it's like fan here, business here. And I'm always like here, 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 here. Like a
Yeah.
devil an angel.
Oh yeah. Well, AJ Styles lives about 30 minutes from me, and I keep hoping one of these days I'll be out and about and I'll run into him. But it
one
hasn't happened yet. But
one day you will. And that's how I am about Jimmy Uso. Like I'm like one of
mm-hmm.
these days I have to run into you because like I live in Oviedo, Florida, Winter Springs, Florida. I'm like at some point like we're going to cross paths. Like my girlfriend has already crossed paths with Naomi.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, and like she was like, I got the meat Trinity, and like she's like so excited, and I'm like, why can't we cross paths? Because growing up as well, like during my time, when the Usos, like I've always been an Uso fan. Me and my brother,
mm-hmm.
my little brother, we were like, of course, super kicking people, each other, and
Oh
frog
yeah,
splashing each other on the
because
bed.
that's what you do.
Yeah, like we were like on the game, we'd make our characters and have their face paint on it, right? Like, and I'm like, I gotta cross paths. Like, I know we live close. I know.
Yeah,
I'm like, I just need to cross paths. Um, so yeah.
very cool. So, and this can be present day or past.
Okay.
Who would be a dream opponent? Who would GMJ love to have the opportunity to share a ring with?
It's a couple people.
Okay.
Um, I am, like I said, I am a big Jeff Hardy fan, Matt Hardy fan. Um, so I would say just the Hardys in general. Um,
Mm-hmm.
of course AJ Styles.
Yeah.
Um, I Finn Balor,
Mm-hmm.
100%.
My
Um,
wife, my wife absolutely loves Finn Balor.
like I
And she's not a huge wrestling fan, but she has always gravitated toward Finn.
Yeah, I just every time I think of Finn, I think about that Pele kick
Oh
to
yeah.
Johnny Gargano. Like every time I think of Finn. Um, but yeah, Finn, of course. Um, I gotta say John Cena because like that's my earliest memory of wrestling, right? So like
Hmm.
you just have to. Of course, CM Punk. Uh, Orton as well because I actually look at Orton a lot now, more in detail now of like how he actually moves because a lot of people always would always say, watch Orton, like watch how slow he moves, watch how crisp he moves. And like I've also never understood that until like I watched him and I'm just like simple watching the way he punch. And I was like, I gotta try that. And I like would start punching. I just started like that, like maybe 3 months ago. And I remember everyone was like, yo, them punches look good. And I was like, well, I listened for once and I watched Orton. Like I would just watch Orton as a fan, but like, so I'll say Orton. Someone in NXT right now, of course I gotta say it. Javon, gotta
Oh
say it.
yeah.
Yeah, we
Uh,
we
man, the sky is the limit for Javon Evans. I mean, that match that he just had with Leon Slater was just sick. I mean, those two guys, man, both of them are just
bro are
unreal.
insane. Insane. Like we haven't we haven't worked each other, but we always like find a way to do like some type of small thing when he's at the Hawk. So like the last time he was there was during our summer camp. He was one of our guest speakers, and he stayed after a while, and like I was just like beating this one kid up, and everyone was like, "Go help him! Go help him!" I didn't think he was like going to even do anything. I'm like, "Nine, I run this. This is my show. Like you stay over there. Don't listen to them. I'm still beating this kid up." And next thing you know, here he comes, turn me, punch me, boom. He's just going. He's like, we're just like, so we never had a full match, but we always run something super small, and I know like it's gonna come at some point. Like, and I'm
Oh, for
I'm
sure.
I'm waiting for that moment when I get an opportunity with WWE,
Yep.
and that is
And and it's not if, it's when.
it is when you're right, but I can't wait until when I get that opportunity. Like that's what I'm looking for. Like
Yep.
I'm looking like him. Like I'm like, oh, we're gonna have one, right?
Hmm.
So another person that's in NXT right now, Oba.
Yeah.
A lot of people don't like say anything about Oba, but like I've watched him live a couple times, and like I'm just like for your size and like you like you um I would love to do something with Oba as well. So
You know, I would actually once they are both on the main roster, I would love to see Obafemi end up getting to work a program with Jacob Fatu.
oh
I think
yeah.
though I think those two could really have a good run together.
Oh, because you said Jacob, Drew McIntyre as well.
Yeah.
Drew
Oh yeah.
McIntyre as well. Just because like his story alone of like being with 3MB, right? And
Hmm.
and this is around like when I was like on and off with like watching it, but like 3MB getting released, and then the next time I seen
Yep.
him was Drew in
He's like
Impact.
a beast. I
He,
mean, you know.
he's like a beast, and then he's in Impact and he's doing things with at Impact, and then he came back, and I'm just like, no, but
Yeah.
I seen Drew in person when I was at SmackDown, and like I've like Drew is like that, still that like hidden secret, right? In my opinion, at
Mm-hmm.
least. Like in my
Yeah,
opinion, like
I agree. I
I
mean, and you know, for Drew, getting released was probably the best thing that ever happened to him because I mean he took it to heart and worked on his craft, reinvented himself mentally, physically, everything, and look at him now. I
yeah,
mean, good lord.
like it's insane.
It really is. It really is.
It just shows that like
So,
you can do it if you want it, honestly.
absolutely. So, what is your favorite move? What is something you just really enjoy doing? And on the flip side of that, is there a move that you won't do or you would at least rather not do? And that can be giving or receiving.
I'll start with something that I won't do. Um,
Okay.
Back body drops. I hate them. Hate them. Um, Also Germans I hate. Like I will not take a German from everybody. Honestly, I would prefer not to take it from anybody. uh, uh, Moves that I like to do. Um, my springboard missile drop kick. I love to do a springboard missile drop kick. I used to do it all the time. I did it at the last show, and like my whole back cramped up, and I was like, man, I'm like been wrestling for 6 years. All this is catching up to me. Um, yeah, I would say springboard missile drop kick. I haven't. I'm not the type to like do like all the like crazy moves. Like I can do it, but like if I put my mind to it, like in the moment, actually, like I'll be able to like do certain things, right?
Mm-hmm.
But like I don't. I'm never just that person of like, okay, I'm gonna do it in a match. Like I'm literally like, okay, it has to make sense. Like how big is this move? Like, do it makes more sense for us to do it at the back end or the beginning? Like, and that's just kind of like the the story, side of things, and like the understanding like why I shouldn't do a pedigree at the beginning of the match just to and don't get me wrong, you actually can do that, like if that's the story that you're trying to tell. But
Right.
I don't like to just like throw away moves. So like a simple springboard missile drop kick works for me.
Gotcha. So, what is your take on the role that social media is playing as a promotional tool in wrestling, specifically indie wrestling?
I hate social media.
It's a necessary evil.
Yeah. So yeah, I've never been like a social media person. I feel like I've like since been at the Hawk, honestly, I've been, up and down with my social media a lot. Just because like we do have marketing classes, and like I said earlier, like one of my hobbies is like really just like figuring out a way to be financially free, and like seeing that like social media could be that side of it, and also get me to where I want to be as well. Like
Hmm.
it's also just one of the things of like, okay, I gotta do it, right? Like, do I like it? No, I may not like it, but it can benefit me a lot to do it, to be a
Yeah,
part of it, to be on it. And you know, as an independent wrestler, I do think it's very useful, and I think we all should, you know, do a lot with it and try to really build it. Um, I think that would help everyone out. I mean, I would say like if everyone had every independent wrestler had a million followers, like of course we're now in the same situation, right? Where like if it's me with 1 million followers and Destin with 1 million followers and big boy Patty with 1 million followers and Matthew Ennis with 1 million followers, like, and we're all trying to be on this like one show, like, okay, wait, who can I, like, it's no, like, no one that I can't not put on this show, right? Like
Right.
right now, if the people that I just named, but I have 2,000 followers, of course, most times, like, you're going with people that's gonna bring you money, right? So I think if, like, everyone use their social media to, for good, at least with the wrestling industry, and keep it, for entertainment purposes, and
Mm-hmm.
not and not talk about the world or be nasty on there. Like, I think for a wrestler, for anyone, social media could be great, but I hate it. I hate to deal with
Yeah. Yeah.
it.
Yeah. So, knowing everything that you know at this point in your life, if you could give any advice to your younger self, what would it be?
um, it's funny. I was just talking about this yesterday as well. It depends on the route I would want to go. Right. If I wanted to go the wrestling route, I would tell my younger self to have my first school be MCW, because I remember, like, I would email them, and things like that to get all the information, and then I'd be like, no, I'll keep backing out of that, and then I'll keep going back into it, and then I'll back out, but then I'm like, I don't want to be in DC anymore. I don't want to be in the DMV area anymore. Like, I just need to leave. Um, but I would tell my younger self, like, hey, like, go there, right? One, because it's family. I got family in the DMV area, of course. Like, that's where I'm from.
Mm-hmm.
So, like, it wouldn't be, as hard. Like, I can, drive an hour and 30 minutes to Baltimore from DC, and I can drive
Right.
back, right? When you really think about that, like, from my house to the restaurant that I work at is 45 minutes. So I'm like in DC, an hour seems long. In
Yeah.
Florida, no. Like, this is normal. You got to get an hour to get to one place. Um, so I would tell myself that. I'll also tell my younger self to, um all that money that he was making, right, from the age of 14, like, keep it. Like, instead of calling an Uber home, you had a free, you had a free bus pass. Get on the bus. Yeah, it takes
Yeah.
longer. Yeah, it takes longer, but, like, you gonna need this, right? But, like, no one. I'll also say learn about money as well. Learn about money, learn about the industry, because, like, no one was there to teach money, right? Growing up in the hood in a poor area, mom on, disability, government, like, no one teach me that. So when I got a job and I was making more than my teachers sometimes, I was like,
Mm-hmm.
this is great. Let me get this iPhone. Let me get these AirPods. Let me get this Apple Watch. Cool. No, I would been like, forget about all of that. Like,
Yep. All that stuff, it's all going to burn.
it's gonna
I
burn. So
mean,
I would tell myself instantly, that iPhone that your mom bought you for your birthday, keep it as long as you could.
yep.
Keep it as long
Yep.
as you could. You don't need it new.
Nope. You don't.
No.
You don't. So, do you have any pre show traditions? Any things that you try to do consistently before you walk through the curtain?
Um, no, I actually don't. lately, I don't know why, but lately, the past like 3 shows, I've had like I've actually been getting like nervous, like getting butterflies in my stomach. So lately I've just been like literally just breathing. Like I'm just like pacing and I'm just like boom. But then like my music hit and it goes. Like
Oh
it's just
yeah.
it's been like that for like 3 months.
I say this a lot. Adrenaline is a hell of a drug.
Nah.
I mean, when that music hits and the
But
switch flips and you're GMJ,
the crazy part is though, like my music comes in so low. Like it's not even at that high energy. It takes like 15 seconds to get there. So right, like, and I kind of been working on my entrance a lot and like changing it up, but like it comes in like take that, take that, I'm gonna take that. If it's in my, and then it's like boom, right? But as soon as I hear that first take that, I am like, let's go. But when I
yeah.
know when I'm just back there, and it's because I just have time to think about like what we're doing. You know, do this make sense or do this make sense? That don't make sense. That's honestly the only reason. Like I know like it won't always be perfect, but I look for perfect. Like every time, like whether it's like facials, footwork, whether it's just to match yourself, like I know everybody can find something in
Hmm.
in a match, but I like to find it myself first. Right. So like we have film study at the Hawk today. I don't know when the last time I've been to a film study because I like to honestly watch my matches back, like at least from the Hawk. I like to watch my matches back first before I like start getting, critiques. And
Hmm.
to be fair, like I always, I don't get them, but it's because like I don't ask for it. Most times I like we're in a practice and I'm just like, hey, so I did this, and like we could literally be talking about like why you should do this and doing this, and then it just pops up in my head. I'm like, yo, so at the last show I did this. Like, so would you say like I shouldn't have done it that way or do it this way? Right. I try to remember like every last detail as well. Like at least from that I feel like something was wrong. I would literally replay it 100 times. That one part that I'm like, something is off here. I literally will keep replaying it, keep replaying it until I can find it. Or then I'm like, that's what it was. Like I go to training and like we're just talking about just kind of like just talking about what makes sense and what don't make sense, flavor of ice creams, things like that, like K's flavor, and Stevie's flavor, and then I'm like thinking, I was like, that's what it was. I didn't like that right there. That small thing that someone probably didn't see, I seen, right?
And
So yeah.
the little things oftentimes are what can end up making the biggest difference too.
Mm-hmm.
Just the tiniest little tweak.
Mm-hmm. It could make or break. Like
Absolutely.
I always say, um, the all the little things make a big thing.
Hmm. They sure do. So, something that we've done in all of these that's just been kind of fun is we've let the current guest pose a question to the next guest. So my previous guest was Destin. And the question that he asked, and he said that you have to answer this. Um, who is your favorite kid at kids camp?
Oh no. Y'all trying to get me in trouble. You I gotta answer it. Okay, all of them. All of them.
Good answer.
Not gonna get me in trouble. I don't have to just worry about the kids. I gotta worry about the parents too.
Yeah.
All of them are my favorite. But honestly, no, seriously, like seriously, all of them are unique in their own way.
Oh, for sure.
Like without one, you'll be like, something's off today. Like if we have one kid named Nathaniel, everyone knows him by Striker. When he don't come on a Friday, you know he's not there on a Friday, right? Gavin, for example, he never missed a day, but like you'll know if he didn't miss a day. Why? Because no one's booing him or calling him psycho average, right? I think they all like bring so much joy to the Hawk, and they probably don't realize it. Like they think, they're all like, thank you guys, right? You guys are bringing joy to my kids, right? But I'm like, really, I'm like, you guys are bringing joy to us. Like for me, like I feel like I'm doing something, with my life right now. Like if wrestling didn't work out, right? Like if I never get signed, but I can continue to be a coach, their coach, and watch them grow, like I wouldn't be mad at that.
You're making a difference.
Yeah.
And you're impacting the business no matter what,
Yep.
and that's beautiful.
Yep.
So, since this is part of a series, do you have a question you would like to ask the next guest? And I can go ahead and just for some context, I can go ahead and tell you the next guest is going to be actually, this is kind of interesting, Halloween night, next Friday, the 31st at 11 p.m. Eastern. We are actually taking the Throwdown down under. We are going to have our first guest all the way from Australia. The Outlier, Kyla Knight. She is an up-and-coming indie wrestler in, I believe, Queensland, Australia. So, I mean, the question doesn't have to be particular to her.
Yeah.
But do you have a question you would like to ask the next guest?
I will actually ask her what is the indie scene like in Australia? Like that's an honest question right there.
Well, that is definitely a great question, and it's definitely something I'll be asking. So, we're pretty much at the end of things. So, do you have any upcoming shows or anything at all that you'd like to give some hype to?
I have a couple shows. So I am in Arkansas, November. Sorry, what is it? November 8th for GCW Gladiator Wrestling, I believe. I'm in Orlando at Castleberry on the 15th, I believe. I could be wrong. And then I'm back in Arkansas for GCW as well. And then I have a show at the Hawk next next month as well. So I have like 5 shows actually coming up. I always post about my shows. So you just follow me at the official GMJ. Like click the link in my bio. Most times all my shows are there.
Absolutely.
Especially the Hawk shows. All the HOC shows are right in there.
Well, as far as what we've got coming up on the Throwdown, like I said, our next episode, we've actually got a few days off, but next Friday, Halloween night, the 31st, 11 p.m. Eastern. Like I said, we're taking our first trip down under for episode 167. And our guest is Australian pro wrestler, the outlier Kyla Knight. We had to really, sort of figure things out time-wise because Australia is 14 hours ahead of Eastern time. So, 11 p.m. Halloween night is 1 p.m. November 1st in Australia. So, it definitely took some calculating and some figuring it all out. But I'm excited because at this point, after that happens, we will have had guests from 23 states and 6 countries.
Nice.
So yeah, I'm definitely excited about that. And then the following Sunday, November 2nd, at 7 p.m. Eastern, we've got episode 168, and our guest is pro wrestling legend, the outlandish Zicky Dice. And he is actually going to be fresh off of his debut in Power Slap. He is traveling to Abu Dhabi, right? He's actually in Abu Dhabi right now. And he is on the preliminary card for a Power Slap show out there. And he is actually going to be slapping against another previous guest on the Throwdown, Marty the Moth Casaus, who was, Marty the Moth on Lucha Underground. So those two are going to be going at it Power Slap wise, this weekend. So, he'll be fresh off of that when he comes on the show. So I'm definitely interested to hear about all of that. And so before we wrap all this up, do you have any final words for the audience?
Yeah, follow me at the official GMJ. Everything I do at home base is at the Hawk Pro on Instagram, and you can find us on YouTube, and most of my matches on the Hawk Pro YouTube channel as well. And if you
Absolutely.
got a kid and they want to wrestle, sign them up for our after school program at thehawkpro.com. And our holiday camp that's coming up.
Absolutely. And I can tell by the way your face lights up when you talk about the kids program that you've got such a heart for this.
Yeah,
So.
I literally just have so much fun. Like, we all just have fun. Like, that's what it is.
Ultimately, especially at that level, that's what it's all about, man.
Mm-hmm.
Just have fun with it, learn, enjoy, be a sponge, soak it all in, all of that stuff. So, for those of you that have been watching this live, thank you. For those of you that'll be seeing this on replays, thank you for that. If you like what we've got going here, definitely do the old like, comment, share, and subscribe. And until Halloween night at 11 p.m. Eastern with Kyla Knight from Australia, be good to each other, love each other, and let's keep